Right, good afternoon. Welcome along to this, spontaneous stream that we've got this afternoon for you. Now, being a novice of flying these A320s, or flying anything really, I mean, I'm okay with basically setting up the aircraft as need be, like putting flight plans in, bits and bobs. Hold on a minute, I've got feedback coming back through my headphones. Let's turn that off, the monitor there. Sorry about that. Yeah, we're setting aircraft up like flight plans, taking off even, you know, and trying to keep it on the taxiway. We're just about there with that. But it's always the landings, the approaches and landings that get you. You know, even with ILS landings, which are, you know, probably the most accurate and secure, as it were. When it comes to RNAV and stuff like that, forget it. At the moment, until you can manually get that thing on the ground, I wouldn't even attempt an RNAV approach. So I've gone for an external software called FSi Panel, and this is it on the screen here. It's just primarily gives you training scenarios, or just sets your aircraft up at any airport in the world. At specific points, whether it's right base, left base, downwind, you know, left, right, downwind, long final, short finals. Now, I want to use this primarily at the moment just to, practice a manual approach, either on a long final or a short final. So we have this software here. It's quite straightforward. You know, I'm using the FENIX A320 there in the setup. There's a tab here for the fly-by-wire, other aircraft, but of course including the FENIX, and it's as simple as this. I mean, I've got my auto brake set to low, so there's some manual intervention there in getting the aircraft to stop. Flaps 3 is the configuration that I've got the aircraft set up, but the settings ticked up here. It's just two boxes really. Program MCDU, so it will set the aircraft at the particular fix that you set up. Set the zero fuel weights and center of gravity for you. So the aircraft sets itself up, takes probably, 15 to 30 seconds. Yeah, you're there, and you can just get on doing your ILS approach, and then, you know, last minute, once you feel that the aircraft's stable, you can take over and you can practice your approaches. Now, I've done a couple with this. I only downloaded this morning. So, yeah, I'm still quite novice to this as well, but it is very easy to use. So from the setup menu, we go back to position. I'm not going to be doing these snapshots, training scenarios and failures. I'm literally concentrating on my approaches. Now, it's best to start, I would suppose, with a familiar airport if you have a favourite, or an airport you're familiar with. So I'm selecting LCLK, which is Larnaca International. MSFS weather engine. It will tell you here whether it's VFR or IFR, that's instrument, or visual. Select the airport, simple as that. We can select the runway, and what we're going to do is select runway 22. Select the fix. I'm going to do a 10 nautical mile final. And that's it. It's as simple as that. Now, we're not ready yet to move the aircraft to that scenario, because what we have to do, we flip back over into Flight Simulator. Initially, the first initial thing you have to do is select the airport. In this case, LCLK, Larnaca International, runway 22, which you can see is here. Also, make sure that you have live weather set, because it will set the conditions to real time for you. As you can see, it's just getting dusk here at the moment, and so we better get a start. Right, so whilst that's going into that scenario, what I could do actually, I wonder if I can overlay that, there you go, on there, so we can see what's going on. I'll just flip that across when need be once we're loaded in. Sometimes this takes a while because I've got tons of stuff in my community folders I've got to have a clear out in there, a sort of autumn
At runway 22,
rid of that.
ready
Is that
for
turned on?
departure,
Yeah.
departing straight out.
Yeah, a bit of an autumn clean out. So things are starting up here. Ready to fly. Let's get to the runway. Don't need GSX on. Right, so here we are at Larnaca. As you see, a bit of a sunset there. Now let things settle down, which is what we've done here. Now, on fSiPANEL, as we can see here, if we look at these left buttons here, so I've selected Larnaca International, runway 22. The fix I've already done, which is a long final, and that just shows you here. Profile is final. It's a flaps 3 configuration, detectable, compatible FENIX A320, so we're in the right stuff. So once you've done these, well, it's initially 3 buttons, that's it. To the right hand side here it says move aircraft, so we just follow the instructions. So if I move aircraft, it tells us that it's now setting flap speed, altitude, and preparing the approach. Now the first initial one takes the longest, but if you want to keep repeating these approaches, obviously it's quicker once it's set up for that. So it's asking us now to set the thrust levers to the climb ident, D10 rather.
Terrain ahead, pull up.
Right, so it's just setting up now, so you'll see it sort of flitting backwards and forwards until it's set up the MCDU. You can see it doing that. It's also going to be setting up your lights. There you go, you can see it's automatically doing that. I'm doing nothing here. Now setting your cockpit, and that's it. We just wait, and then it's as easy as when it prompts you in that box there to keep your brake on for 3 seconds, you have then control of the aircraft. But as you can see, it's doing the setup. Everything is green on the displays. It's just setting the managed speed at the moment. As you can see, it keeps going forward and then it'll pop back as it's still setting up. Right, there we are, we're ready. So if I hold the brake for 3 seconds, I then have control. So let's go. Oops, make sure I'm on the screen. Right, okay. Oh, that's very typical, isn't it? 1 second, my joystick's not connected. Right, there you go. Let's connect the joystick. Would help. Let's resume that. Hopefully this time. Right, aircraft is ready. Let's just check. Yeah, okay. Go back into autopilot. Right, I may have interfered with that because of this joystick thing, but no worries, because what we can do is get the screen back. We'll just go through that again. So now setting flap speed, altitude, standby. I apologise for that. I should have checked that before I started the stream, really, shouldn't I? Right, everything is ready. Recycle the thrust levers. Right, so minimum, then back to climb. Levers are in climb descents. Right, we'll try again, shall we? I do apologise for that. That's you know, I'm a novice to this as well, so. Right, so it's just going through the preparation again. By the time I've set this up, it'll be bloody dark here. So, but we can move airports, we will do that. I'm going to probably spend an hour on this stream just doing a few more practice approaches. Normally what I do as my practice, I let the ILS and the autopilot sort it all out. So we'll, I think, you know, take it in small steps, 1,000 feet out. I'll take over manually and attempt to landing. Right, so here we go. Hold your brakes for 3 seconds to take control. This time that's worked. Aircraft is ready. Thank you. Safe landing. I don't know about that though. Okay, so I'm configuring the aircraft for an auto land. That puts it into managed mode. So that's just lining up with the glide slope. But it does literally do everything for you. So right, as you can see, status is green on the panel, which is what we want. Because normally if you was to do this manually in the sim, you'd have to set everything up. It takes, you know, then you'd have to take off and fly around. But with this, to do this, you know, within a minute of, you know, configuring what airport you're at, it's pretty useful. As I say, I've used it a couple of times this morning, and yeah, it's brilliant. The only thing, you know, I've not had enough practice yet to say that I'm confident in landing it manually every single time. Practice makes perfect, so I will be spending a lot of time in this FSi panel. Right, so that's 2,000, so I'm going to take control at around about 1,000 feet. So for that, you just knock the autopilot off and try your stuff. And as usual, you can do your views and stuff like that, even if you was to leave it in auto land, if that's your bag. But no, I really want to use this for landing practices and approaches. So as I have sort of mastered the fix scenarios, I'll start doing, you know, downwing legs and stuff like that, so, and vectors. As they say here in Cyprus, cigar, cigar, slowly, slowly. Right, so we're coming up to the 1,000 feet mark. This is the bit where it all goes pear-shaped for me. Is keeping it on profile, keeping it on that glide slope profile, and, you know, trying to get it on centre line is the thing I've got to master. Right, one puff and we've... Right, you do get a landing assessment as well.
1,000.
Just to tell you where that you're going wrong. Right, so that's the 1,000. I've gone into manual now. Autopilot is off. You just got to remember it's gentle control movements. We're staying on profile at the moment. We are starting to drift to the right. You can use your flight directors to sort of get you back on. Right, I'm going a little bit low as well, so we're trying to keep an eye on the PAPI as well to make sure that you are on profile. A little bit more to the left.
500.
Now I'm too far to the right. This is the bit that I always struggle with. Right now I'm getting a bit high, so let's get back on the glide slope. And as you can see, this is the problem I have. I seem to drift right off, and it seems to be... Right, okay, let's... we are very high here. Plus, sort of narrating this and talking at the same time probably isn't the best idea.
200.
Right, we'll try and get it in there as close to the centre line as we can.
100.
Right, and...
50.
Oh,
30.
That's going to be
20.
hard.
Retard.
Right, retard. Oh, we're floating. Oh, we're floating. I think what I done,
10.
Oh. Well, they say any landing is a good landing. But you see what I mean? What I found this morning is, you know, the more that you've done, the more you sort of got a little bit more confident and fared a bit better. Right, so what I can do now, you can go, normally it'll assess you on, you know, how you do your cleanup and everything else. As you can see here now, there's a landing report ready. And let's drag that over here. It just within limits, landing distance on centerline. I was surprised with that. But look at the touchdown rate, neg 469 feet per minute. As you can see here, it looks at my, let's just put the brakes on a minute. Maximum local deviation, 0.3 dots. Glide slope deviation, 2 dots above at 0.8 nautical miles. Maximum rate of descent, 980 feet per minute, because that's where I went off the profile and sort of overcorrected there. But you sort of get this profile here, the glide slope deviation from right, as you can see there. Look, started to drift off to the right, and then I've overcorrected, and finally got on there, but started to drift again right towards the end. Glide slope. Yeah, it went all well until I took control here. As you can see, we drifted well high within that beam angle and came in high. So let's hope we can improve that. So right, well, we're going to do the same again. Long final, move aircraft, and it's as simple as this now. You don't have to go through all that setup again. And as you can see, it's doing it for us. It takes 30 seconds to a minute, depending. Right, so set your thrust lever to climb. Which I've done there.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Back at the scenario. So we'll wait for that to set itself up now. And then it'll prompt us again to keep your brakes on for 3 seconds when it gives you control.
Bravo Alpha Tree, 423 radar. Contact 4 miles east of Charlie, X-ray 00, 4,300 feet. Clear to the Charlie airspace.
I think what we'll do, we'll put it back in daylight, shall we? There you go. Still setting, still prepping up, so it just indicates in that box on the top left-hand side there everything we need to do, and all I've had to do is put the thrust levers back in climb. Right, there you go. Hold your brakes for 3 seconds. 2, 3. Aircraft is ready. You have control and status have a safe landing. Right, so I'll let it settle down. I'll put it in approach mode. And now it's gone into fully automatic. Again, I'm just going to keep it 1,000 foot on the approach before I take control. Because if I take it from here, if I can't do that at 1,000 foot, then I have no hope from this distance. And this is just such a useful tool to keep practicing that. So that's what I'm going to do. There's plenty of use from this. So once again, that's FSi Panel. I've bought this. They've not, contacted me. I haven't got enough followers for a start. So, but I just thought, if this is the sort of thing you want to do, this is an absolute ideal tool for it. Right, so we're 2,200 feet at the moment, 7.6 miles. So I think at 1,000 feet, what's that? It's probably going to be about 3 miles, 3.5 miles. Soon tell you. We'll take a look at the panel. So there's the 2000 mark at 6.9 miles, 6.8 equals the minute, yeah. Right, so at 5.6 mile, that's 1,500 feet. .7 miles at 1,300 feet. I might do this a little bit closer to the runway. Probably the last mile and a half, 2 miles, I might give this a shot.
1,000.
Alright, 1,000, that is, what, 3.4 miles there? 3.3 miles. Okay, I'm taking control now at this spot. Okay, we are going off profile a little bit there, a little bit more rudder. Sinking a little bit low.
$500.
Okay, need to come down a little bit now. Trying to follow that glide slope.
400.
Wow, it's amazing how you get off that centre line. We have got a 10 knot wind here, so crosswind, as it were.
200.
Trying to get back onto profile. We're on the centre line just about.
Light slope.
30. 20. Retard.
Oh, that was a little bit hard, but we're down. Yeah, we kept it off. That's a shame. It's there somewhere. Right, so I'm going to give that another go. Let's just check that landing report out there. Right, so as we can see from the localizer deviation, we can see my left-right panic at the beginning there, and then we sort of sorted it out. We were just right off the localizer line. Once again, a little bit of an improvement on the glide slope. You can see it's just that initial time where I take control and then it drops. So it's said the landing distance is good. We're in the drop zone. Deviation from centre line, 8.7 feet to the right, but it says it's satisfactory. We've got to take into account that crosswind, that 10 knot crosswind that we had. Touchdown, well, it's not too bad actually, 236 feet a minute. Nice landing, a little bit floaty I thought. Bank at touchdown was perfect. 0.5 degrees. This time, as you notice here, I've got no reds on the maximum deviation. Localizer deviation was okay. Maximum ground slope deviation, all within the limits there. Maximum rate of descent, 775 foot. That was when I panicked a little bit and thought I was coming way off the profile. Speed's okay. So look, just in that one there's a little bit of an improvement. Okay, I'd done it, what was it, about 850 foot I took over. Oh, there we go. It tells us here, look, autopilot disconnect height was 880 feet. So, yeah, like I say, it is practice, isn't it? It's pretty practice. As you can see, our winds here, we had like a 14 knot wind blowing us from the east, from the right of the aircraft. Right, let's see if we can keep that up. So it's as simple as this. Reset it, just move aircraft, setting flap speed and altitude, stand by, put thrust levers back to the climb position, and there we go.
Ahead.
And then it starts setting us up.
Seabird 1981 Bravo Alpha Tree 42 Tree Monica approach.
So we just wait now until it tells us to tap the brakes for 3 seconds to take control of the aircraft. But as you can see, this is much quicker than doing a manual setup of having to take off, go round again. It takes ages.
Clear to the Charlie airspace. Maintain on navigation.
Okay, we're all greens there at the moment. Still in the process of doing a bit of setup. And again, it will remind us in the prompt up there in the box when to touch your brakes to take control. Right, and there we go. Hold for 3 seconds. 2, 3. First thing I'll do is whack it in approach mode into the autopilot. It'll correct itself. Get on the profile. Right, so because we made a bit of an improvement there at, what was it, 850 foot, I think I'm going to do it one more time just to see if we can manage it again, you know. And the idea is that once you're pretty au fait with that, then it's to say, well, I'll do it at 1,000 feet, 1,200 feet, 1,500 feet, until you get pretty confident with the approaches. Well, I hope that's the plan anyway. So I could do short finals, might change it for this. Let's just see how much of a difference there is doing a short final. I just thought this would give the aircraft a chance to settle down doing a long final. You get, you know, your nerves sorted, and see where we go from there. Right, so we're coming up to 7 miles at 2,000 feet. As you can see as well, if you feel you need to go around, you're just going to ditch the aircraft. It programs in the Atoga as well, so which is pretty good. Just take some of the workload off of you whilst you're, you know, just practicing the fundamentals, which is trying to get the thing on the ground safely. So there's the beautiful views of Larnaca. Let's go in. I think we'll make this the last one at Larnaca. We'll go somewhere else after this. I want to check to see what the performance is like at Gatwick. Gatwick's, for me, it's frame rate. It's a frame rate monster. It really is. It's hogs the frame rates. Okay, so we're coming up to 1,000 feet, 4 miles. We have a 14 knot headwind. Well, it's sort of a crosswind really, bit of cross between the two, a headwind. It's coming from our northeast. which
1,000.
blew us off course last time. Right, okay, so standing by to take control. 850 feet at 2.9 miles. I have control. Okay, bearing in mind of that crosswind, just a little bit of rudder. Okay, we're going a bit low.
$500.
Wow, that crosswind is brutal. Always is in the afternoons. This time of year in Larnaca it gets very windy. Right, okay, we need to get back on profile.
400. 300.
Okay, we're back on the Pappies again.
200.
Light slow.
There, we've dropped a bit low there.
Light slow.
Little tiny bit of rudder.
30. 20.
Oh,
Retard.
that's going to be hard. That is going to be very hard. Whoa. See? Never get complacent. 80 knots. 70 knots. Bit of manual braking. Wow. Yeah, that... See, that wind shifted on that approach there. I'm going to give it one more go here. On that one, let's just check the report for that one. I don't think that's going to be so good to us. So let's check out the landing report. Oh dear, we got a red minimum rate of descent. Yeah, because I had to dive there to get back on the glide slope profile. Right, landing distance was very good. Deviation from centre line 7.4 feet. That's satisfactory. Touchdown, as we can see here. Look at that, neg 628 feet per minute. Hard landing. Banker touchdown was perfect. Localizer deviation. I mean, that wasn't too bad. I did notice that I kept it pretty much on profile. We had a bit of a wobble at the beginning if we look here. Oh, I'm saying look here. Did I put the cursor on? Let's have a look. We'll capture the cursor so you can see what I'm hopefully looking at. I've still got the start flight thing on as well. Sorry, I'm not checking OBS here whilst I'm doing this. Right, yeah, as you can see here, when I first took control, we was off the localizer to the right, corrected for that, but it sort of, that wind blew us back off course pretty quick, corrected, and we stayed a little bit to the right of the localizer. The glide slope approach, as you can see, I've made two corrections there. Well, one we drifted low, and sort of overcorrected, I think. That's what I've done there, overcorrected, and then had to bring it in at the last minute. Right, so okay. I think we'll do one more. Let's get the parking brake off. My throttle's at idle at the moment. We'll wait for it to say, there we go, put it to climb. Climb.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Let's let it sort itself out.
Seabird 1981, Bravo Alpha Tree, 42 Tree, Larnaca approach. Squawk 2545. Seabird 1981, Bravo Alpha Tree, 42 Tree radar. Contact 4 miles east of Charlie X-ray 00, 4,200 feet. Clear to the Charlie airspace.
cycle the. Yeah, I was. That's why it took so long then, because you're meant to cycle the throttle lever. Right. Okay. 3 seconds. 2, 3. I've control. Let's get the approach on. And autopilot set. Right, so it looks like we're just flying over the Decatur area of Larnaca. I think the army base is near enough below us. Is the army base directly below us there. Just following the Decatur Road. Right, let's see how we're doing. Okay, 2,207 miles, 7.5 miles. I think I'll go for the. I'm going to stick to the 850 feet. Raw that I'm doing at the moment, just so I can master, you know, making those final adjustments.
2,000.
Right, we're off to Gatwick after this. And I can just take you through the FSi panel settings one more time. Right, 1,600 feet at 5.4 miles, is that 5.6? Quite zoomed in enough. So I've got 5.7 miles. 1,500. Right, so we've still got that northwesterly wind at 14 and 15 knots. 15 is a bit stronger this time, so just preparing myself to get blown around a bit more. 4.4 miles, 1,200 feet. .9 miles at 1,100. Crosswind still 13, 14 knots at the moment. 1,000 feet, 3.3 miles. 15 knots of wind at the moment, so it is getting stronger. We're just coming up to 850 now. I have control. Okay, looking good on the approach at the moment. Just need a bit of left. Let's get back on the centre line. And again, we're dropping fast, so I'm trying to correct here.
500.
For the glide slope. Coming on to the centre line. It's still a bit low, so I'm going to keep
400.
this approach angle. Okay, now we need to start coming back down again, trying to keep on that glide slope angle there. 2 pappies, which is good.
300.
Oh, we've gone right of the centre line there. Try and bring that back. Trying to correct for that. That wind is absolutely brutal.
100. 50.
Right,
30,
trying to give me flare.
20.
Oh.
Retard.
Wow, we floated there, didn't we?
10.
Wow, that was brutal wind. 80 knots. 60. Right, okay. Wow. Brutal indeed. Set the auto brake off, so just roll in here. Okay, I think that's enough at Larnaca. Just for a change, we'll go somewhere else. So what we have to do here, what I normally do is check the METAR on metartaf.com. So we are going EGKK, London Gatwick. Search that there, you'll get an idea of the runway in use. Normally it's quite accurate. So whenever we're going 26, we're going to go 26 left. 10 knot wind there, a westerly wind, which is good because that'll be near enough a headwind, which is better than having a crosswind. So what we need to do now, we just relocate back to the main menu, continue. Relocate ourselves back to Gatwick, and once you're there again you can just keep repeating it. It's just the initial setup. Right, so yeah, we got it's 19 degrees, few clouds, 10 knots, wind 270, visibility 10 kilometers. So let's go back to the main menu. I want to go here, EGKK, which is Gatwick. 26 left. That's correct. Okay. Just make sure we're on live weather. And off we pop. Yeah, so always you have to initially set up on the runway at the airport that you're operating to. And then that's it. You can just keep doing your, as you saw there with Larnaca, just keep repeating your landing practices. Loading the FENIX. Let's just check to see if that's happy. Right, so this time, EGKK, Gatwick, select airports. And we are 26 left. Select fix. We'll do. We'll try a 7 mile final this time. So now all we have to do is just wait for this to pop into Gatwick. Here we are.
1981 Bravo Alpha Tree 42 tree ready for departing straight out at runway 26 left.
Right. I normally give it a minute just to sort itself out. As you can see, it's just spooling up the engines at the moment, so we'll let that do its stuff there. Yeah, Gatwick is very frame rate hungry. Right, we can hear the engine starting. We can look at that windsock there. Luckily, it's coming from the west, so it's ideal for this runway 26, and it's quite potent. Right, so there we go. We got stabilised engines. What we can do is bring up our. Just confirm it for London Gatwick, runway 26 left. Our fix is a profiles final, short final, flaps free. So let's move the aircraft. And I'm at idle at the moment. It's just setting the flaps, speed, and altitude settings. Right, so I'm going to toggle
Terrain ahead.
There you go.
Pull up.
Alright, there we go. So, let it set itself up.
Gatwick Tower Speedbird 1981 Bravo Alpha Tree 42 tree frequency change. Gatwick approach. approach Speedbird 1981 Bravo Alpha Tree 42 Tree is type Airbus 4 miles southwest of Echo Golf X-Ray India 3,800 feet. Request flight following.
Speedbird 1981 Bravo Alpha Tree 42
Like I say, you can see it keep rolling back whilst it's doing the setup, because it is doing all your MDCU settings, weights, fuel and balances and stuff like that. So it takes, like I say, 30 seconds to a minute to initially set up.
Speedbird 1981 Bravo Alpha
And we
Tree
should get the message in a few moments to tap the brakes to take control.
QNH tree 0.18.
2,000.
Roger, Speedbird 1981 Bravo Alpha.
Right, so we're on a short final this time, 7 miles. I don't need the terrain information for this. It's pretty flat out here in the Surrey. Right, okay, it's ready to give us control. Tap the brakes for 3 seconds. I have control. We'll put it into approach. So pilot is set, all greens at the moment. Cabin check, well, what does it want us to do for that? It used to be this, but that was on the fly-by-wire, I think, when it just clicked out a couple of times. Try to talk with the seatbelt sign. There you go. Right, so I'm going to do the same here, get to around about 850 feet, and then take manual control of the aircraft. Now, the problem with Gatwick is when you're on a westerly approach on 2.6, this time of day when the sun's getting starting to set, you get a bit of glare. I don't know how effective the glare shield is. Or, as you can see, the sun's directly there. That is a bit dark for me. Yeah, I think we'll just squint. 1,700 feet. Got a similar headwind to what we had at Larnaca, 14 knots, sort of northwesterly. So that's probably going to give us a little bit of grief. Right, 1,300 feet, 4.9, is that 4.9? 3.9 miles.
1,000.
Okay, ready to take control around about 1,000, yeah, seems reasonable. I have control. I'm drifting to the left a little bit there. Not too much to the right.
500.
Pappy's looking good.
400.
2 whites, 2 reds. Oh, we're drifting off. That wind is blowing us across the centre line.
300. 200. 100.
Flight slow.
Right, we are trying.
Slow.
30.
Terrain.
20. Retard.
Floaty again. But we are down. Hey, that wasn't too bad. 100 knots. 80, 60, and put back to idle. Oh, I didn't feel that was too bad actually. It just goes to prove, you know, a bit of practice. We'll check the landing report, see what that says. Right, we'll park up here and check out landing reports. Parking brakes on. Right, let's get that back. Landing reports. Well, apart from the rate of descent, that was right at the end there, wasn't it? We didn't do too bad. Sort of drifted off towards the end there at around about a mile out. Then we corrected right over the runway, near enough. Right, so it said landing distance 1,100 feet, very good. On the centre line, yeah, not bad. Touchdown, nice landing, neg 132. That's the sort of areas we want to be in. Bank and touchdown, it's 0.7 degrees. Says that was perfect. Now we know we floated. So it did say threshold crossing height was 26 feet. Localizer, that was all good. That's all within the limits. I think the only thing we really did mess with was the rate of descent. At 156 feet, I really did have to push it down because I don't know why. For some reason, I was more concentrating on keeping it on the centre line. As you can see, we was on the centre line, but I lost the concentration of my height awareness, or keeping an eye on that glide slope, which should have been. Right, I'm gonna attempt that one more time. This time, let's see what it's like doing. We're going to do a left-hand downwind. See what position that puts us in. We're going to keep everything the same. Gatwick Airport, runway 26. Select fix, profiles clean. Or we'd be too adventurous there. Should we do a left base? Let's do a left base. Let's see how we go with that. Right, so it's doing its initial setup. It'll want me to recycle the thrust levers. It's back to climb
Terrain
descent.
ahead. Pull up.
Thames approach Speedbird 1981 Bravo Alpha Tree 42 Tree is type Airbus 6 miles south of Echo Golf X-Ray India 3,800 feet. Request flight following.
Right, so that's just setting up all the MCDU stuff.
Thames approach. Squawk 5207.
Squawk 5207 Speedbird 1981 Bravo Alpha Tree 42 Tree.
Speedbird 1981 Bravo Alpha Tree 42 Tree radar. Contact 6 miles south of Echo Golf X-Ray India 4,200 feet. QNH Tree 0.18.
Roger Speedbird 1981 Bravo Alpha Tree 42 Tree.
As you can see, it's just setting up our vectors here. The airport should be over there somewhere. Let's have a look. I think it's just about over here. Okay, and it's ready to go. Hold the brakes for 3 seconds. I have control. Well, aircraft control. Let's get the approach set. Airfield's to our left. And here we go, onto our turn. Right, so we're 9 miles from the airfield.
Speedbird 1981 Bravo Alpha Tree 42 Tree. Contact Gatwick. Approach on 126.825. Good day.
Going to 126.825 Speedbird 1981 Bravo Alpha Tree.
Right, glide slope's blue at the moment, so
Gatwick approach.
any minute now we should start to capture that when we get to FF26 left, apparently, which is start of our glide slope.
Gatwick approach QNH tree 0.18.
Oh, it's already found it. There you go. Look, all greens for the glide slope. It's just finding its way onto the profile now. Yeah, as that sun gets lower, it's makes it more difficult to do a visual here, but that's how it is. Right, so we're at green dot S speed at the moment.
2,000.
That's 180 knots. Which is cool. I don't need the train radar. So we're on profile 2000. That's 1,400 feet. I'll tell you what, that's what it hasn't done. It hasn't got the landing gear down. Right, so there's a bit more to do with the configuration on your approach here. Wants us to do a full flap. Okay, I'm taking control here. We are coming in a little bit fast. And we're a bit higher.
500.
Okay.
400.
Light slope.
Whoa, whoa. And a
Light slope.
bit of a gust there.
Light slope.
We're too low. Wow, yeah, I think I need to carry on with those short final practices first of all. Don't worry, we'll try and get it down anyway. Wow, that wind.
Think rate.
30.
Wow, that will be a go around, which I think we're going to do anyway. There we go. Back to flap one. Gear up. As you can see, it has our go-around route already planned. Yeah, so I think I got a bit too adventurous there, too early to be honest. Right, so I think what we'll do this time, we'll do a long final again, short final this time, make this the last one, move the aircraft, it's just going to be setting up again, so it just didn't like that because I was still in toga. That's why it was complaining. Right, so if we go back to idle, back to climb. Yeah, I think it was being a bit too adventurous for that. Right, at the moment we're over speed because of the speed that we were in our last configuration, so it's just going to sort that out. So dependent on your last condition is how long this initial setup takes. I'll wind that down because that's going to blast our heads off. We're definitely in climb, aren't we? Yep. What I'll do, I'll toggle it. Let's let that speed drop. Let's put some speed brakes out. Yeah, so that's probably advisable to do before you sort of reset it, is get the speed down. Right, so let's put that back into automatic. We're good with the speed now, we can go back to climb. Right, let's tap again. Ah, the auto thrust was off as well, so let's get that sorted out. Okay, yep, we got you. Bit of speed brake again. Right, now it should be happy. Get the approach on. Right, so it's just getting itself back on the profile. It's 1,800 feet. Sun directly in front of us at the moment. Very low, so it's does make a visual approach just that little bit more difficult. The sun visor seems to just block it right out. Let's try again now that it's lower. I suppose if you put your head right up to get it. Okay, that's better. Here we go. Right, so 1,200 feet, 1,000 feet rather. Okay, I have control. No, I don't. Try again. That's it. Autopilot off. What's happened now? It's not happy that I've got control for some reason. I don't blame it. Yeah, there's something it's not quite happy with.
Too low, terrain. Too low, terrain. Too low, terrain.
Shush. It won't
Too
cancel.
low, terrain.
Oh well. We'll try it manually still. See how we go.
Too low, terrain. Too low, terrain. Too low, terrain. Too low, terrain.
Wow, let's take that down.
Terrain. Too low, terrain. Too low, terrain. Too low, terrain.
Well, we're on the ground. Just, oh my god. No way. That's terrible. Well, I think you get the idea. I think we've damaged our wheels there. Oh no, we didn't. We didn't have any gear down. Normally it sets all that up for you, but obviously not this time round. Well, there you go. There's a bit of fun with FSi Panel. Brilliant stuff. It's going to be interesting to see what the landing report for this one is. Unsafe landing. Just a little bit. Anyway, thanks for joining us for this, guys. I'm going to, as you can see, I need plenty of practice and I'll be getting lots of use out of this FSi panel. It's fSiPANEL.com. If you're interested in having a look and need some practice